Every column array speaker that's marketed to a DJ should feel like it's for DJs by DJs. And I feel like every column array speaker that's out there on the market right now is a missed opportunity. So in this video, this is going to be an open letter to manufacturers of column array speakers of everything I feel DJs are looking for in these speakers. All right, so this video is going to be of the nicest features that DJs want in column arrays. And so I'm looking for a column array that will be the speaker of all speakers, the unicorn of all speakers, the one that has every single feature that a DJ is looking for. So right now, I still think the crown is open for the king of the column arrays. We know Bose started it all off years back, but now the market is saturated with speakers. And like I said in the intro, each one of them missed the mark by just a little bit. So I firmly believe that the company that nails all these features and checks these boxes will get the crown of the column array and will be the company that takes my money. So with that said, here are the 6 things that I think should be included in each column array speaker. All right, so the first thing that DJs look for in these column array speakers is portability, right? That's the name of the game. That's what set off the craze for all these speakers. So I feel like portability has got to be number 1. So what comes with portability? The ability to take the speaker apart and put it together where you don't have to set up a bottom, a pole, tops, and all the wiring, right? That's what makes column arrays so beautiful. You sit it down, you stack it, it's all in one. Number 2, durability. So what do I mean by durability, right? That sway issue that plagues columns. Someone needs to resolve this. I mean, it's 2022. What's going on? Why isn't this issue resolved? I mean, each column's going to have a little bit of sway, but it shouldn't feel like, bink, you knock the thing over super easy. You know, magnetic connections. When you put the column array in there, you want that magnetic feedback to know that it clicked, to know that it's in there, to have that confidence to know that that thing's not going to fall down. As soon as the wind blows, it's get broken in half, and then boom, your pieces are stuck down in the base of your column array. All right, so I think it's really important that a column array has good power rating, right? At this time and age where the speakers are at, it shouldn't be anything less than 2,000 watts. JBL with the PRX1, that's what initially caught my eyes on that unit, is because of the specs. They had a bunch of drivers, I think it's like 12 drivers, and then they had a bass sub rated for 2,000 watts. That was amazing, right? If you're gonna have a column array, the drivers aren't gonna need as much power because they don't have as much bass and there's more of them there, so you're gonna get the perception of a nice even sound. But when it comes to the bass, when you turn that column array up, the bass needs to match the sound that's going to be coming out the highs. It needs to feel that way. So you need to be able to have an adequate amount of bass. Does it need to be a 12, a 15, or 18? Who knows? That's debatable. But Bose does a good thing with their racetrack driver where it feels like a 15, and that delivers some good bass. One of the gripes that I've had with column arrays, or a lot of ones that I tested, is that they don't have any bass. Or you have to crank the bass and it doesn't sound right, it doesn't feel right. So put out a column array, give it solid bass, give it enough power to follow, give it a nice max SPL of 130 plus, you know, give it 2,000 watts. You know, the drivers could be whatever, those could be 250 or 400 watts. The drivers don't need a ton of power, but your bass module needs to pack a punch. So with your column array, you need to decide, what do you want the presence profile to be of that bass speaker? Do you want it to be loud and boomy, or do you want it to be tight and punchy? I think either way can work with the speaker, but you just got to decide what sounds good, build that profile into your speaker, and people need to know what they're buying into when they buy their speaker. So I think the JBL PRX1 does a great job because they have bigger drivers than the Bose speaker does. So what's that going to give you, right? That's going to give you more of a feel of that middle frequency range, that presence in there. So smaller drivers are great if you pack a lot of them in there, but I would rather see, you know, bigger, larger, you know, drivers, still 16 of those in a speaker. And I think that'll give you, like, the highs will be there, your lows will be there, but to give you that mid presence is what DJs need. Another feature that all column arrays that come out should have is Bluetooth, right? If we come out of speak with a column array and it doesn't have Bluetooth, what are you doing? So you gotta have it. That is part of the portability. It adds to the portability, so you don't need to bring a separate unit to crank the music through. So to be able to have Bluetooth, have it as part of one of the channels on the mixer, crank it right out, makes it a lot easier. And I absolutely think that's a must-have for any column array speaker that's going to be coming out here today. The speaker connections that have on the back of your column array should all be XLR TRS combos, hands down. Why wouldn't you? That doesn't cost that much, so it should be included on each speaker to give you flexibility on what you need to do. With all the column arrays that are coming out here, mixer seems to be the hot thing that is built right into the column arrays. So Bose does 3, JBL, Eon does 5, JBL PRX1 does 7, and then other speakers they do whatever. I wouldn't really do 3 like Bose did. I would do more. You really need 1 for music and maybe 2 microphones. Maybe 4 channels would be good. But 3 is a little less than I would like to see. So let's just say for this video, anything more than 3 would be better than where we're at right now, at least the Bose. There should be an app. It should connect to the speakers. You should be able to group your speakers. The app should be intuitive. That's something an app should definitely have. You should be able to turn your speaker on, off, mute, switch it from instrument to mic, whatever other things. You should be able to group them together. And that's where the industry is headed. All right, so something else that I think is really important is the design. Design of the speaker needs to be beautiful, but they gotta be beautiful and they definitely gotta hit 6 feet or higher as far as the height, because it needs to get over that crowd, especially a seated an audience. And when you have a packed dance floor, that sound needs to travel. It needs to find a way to cut through that audience. And then finally, the last thing, which is last but not least, but important, is pricing, right? It needs to be priced right. If it's priced right, they're gonna sell. If not, then you can have all the features in the world. If it's not priced right, if it's insanely priced, I'm not gonna spend money on it. So pricing is important. I think worst case scenario, the highest I would go is around that $3,500 mark for all these features. But again, if the speaker is not quality, if it doesn't have a lot of these features that I have, it's not really worth it. Speaking of which, QSC, where are you in the column array game, right? Maybe this video is for you to get into the game. Check all these boxes. I love QSC. If QSC did something like this and they checked all these boxes, if they wanted to make a splash into the column array industry, this is how you do it. So QSC, watch this video, take some tips from this, come out with a column array, put it in there. We all know that QSC gives us the power that us DJs love. So QSC, hopefully you guys are listening and you put all that into a column array speaker and give it to us within the next couple years. Give the people what they want, QSC. Column arrays, we'll even say speakers for DJs, should feel like they're designed for DJs by DJs. I don't think of all these speakers that are out there, no one really has the crown yet. Bose had the crown, but now everybody, all the kings are coming forward. So who's going to take the crown? That's what we need to know. So I'm gonna leave this video off here. This video is actually gonna be sent to each of these companies so they have a list that they can check the boxes of when they're coming out with their column arrays. So I'll reference back to this video from time to time to see what company is checking the boxes when they're putting their equipment out to market. I want a column array that gives it all to me. Who's gonna do that? It's up in the air, the crown is up for grabs. Whichever company is bold enough, has the balls enough to step up and take that crown and nail all those features is the company that I'm gonna give my money to. There it is, it's out there. So who wants my money? So you guys, thanks for watching the video. Again, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this video and where we're going with column arrays and what you want. And we'll see you guys in the next video.